There he is, the boy, the one we all love, Miles Tails Prouder. That's right. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Comic Foil. Today we're starting a new Let's Play. We are playing Sonic Colors. This is technically a blind Let's Play for me. I'm like not the biggest, but I would say I am a Sonic fan. I have had Sonic my entire life. I was a 90s kid. So of course Sonic was always around and I played most of the games, but this is one that, even though I've heard it's so good, I've just never gotten around to playing. So yeah, I picked up this game at a convention. There's a guy selling old retro games. Crazy to think that this is retro, but I saw the original Wii copy of Sonic Colors and decided to pick it up because, yeah, this game was originally a Wii exclusive before the HD remake came out and brought it to most systems. So, yeah, if you're wondering, I am playing the original Wii version of Sonic Colors. I heard the remake. There are a lot of complaints about the remakes, but I don't think the remake is any worse than the original. I hear it can chug. It has some technical problems, but I don't think it's considered. I think it's still considered the definitive version as long as you get it for one of the better. If you get one of the better ports, the PS5 version or something. Yeah, so here we go. This is the game that introduced the Wisps, and yeah, I just thought, yeah, I needed another Let's Play to fill in between things, between whatever Oscar and I do next and Steam Sember that I'm working on right now, but that's a few months away.
Hello, Sonic. Do you read me? I'll be your navigator. Everything but the running to me.
Do I want Tails as a navigator on?
Hello, Sonic. Do you read me?
I guess I'll take it because I don't know the specific controls. Alright, and it puts us right into a level. That's awesome. Okay, so 1 second here. Oh, there's no options or anything? I was hoping there'd be something for me to be able to, turn on subtitles and stuff like that. Okay, well, I am increasing the volume for myself here just a bit. Had to play with the sound levels. Yeah, so this is only the second time I've ever played a Sonic game on this channel. I'm gonna be very bad at this to start. Okay. Okay, simple Sonic rules. Okay, so I got some Wisps there. Okay, so I think the red rings are really cool, but I don't think I'm going to be going for any sort of completionist run of this. I think I'm just going to be trying to get through the game. Tap for a short jump. Alright. Yeah, so I'm playing with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Okay, and I got a homing attack. Yeah, so these are the kind of Egg Robo Badniks that I always think of as first showing up in Sonic Heroes. So yeah, basically I'm going to be playing through this game and I'm going to be giving my not-so-hot takes on the Sonic franchise as we go, because just kind of as an overview here, I think Sonic is a really great, really interesting, really culturally impactful series, at least as far as video games go, and sometimes stretching outside of the narrow box of video games. And what I love about it, a lot like Pokemon, is that a lot of people have a lot of different passionate takes about different games in the series. So people will really argue a lot about which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. Get on rails to grind, move left or right while grinding to switch rails. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna have a 3 rails set up here. Okay, so I guess I use B to use those, cyan wisps. Is that like my boost gauge? Is cyan what I use to boost in this game? Oh, I can like get more air by doing the tricks. Okay, whoops. Little too slow on that. But yeah, as far as like when I started with Sonic, so I've been a Nintendo kid, but actually one of our first systems was a Sega Genesis. I think my dad brought home a Sega Genesis and then later brought home a Super Nintendo like a year later. So this would have been not when those systems freshly came out, but, you know, in the early 90s, like 1994 or something like that. And we had Sonic 2, and we had Sonic 3. We didn't have Sonic and Knuckles, so we didn't have Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But we had Sonic 2, and we had Sonic 3, and we had Sonic 3D Blast. I can mess with the numbers here. Okay. Oh, it puts me right into Act 2 first. I thought it might give me some story in between the two acts. I know this game has a story mode. I didn't, like, activate, like, no story mode, did I? No, I'm guessing it's just trying to do a thing where it lets me start with some of the action. Cool. Okay. Oh man, this is giving me like new Super Mario Brothers feelings though, where I want to try and collect all the red rings. Okay, and I think this game goes for more like shorter levels, like a greater quantity of short levels rather than just one or two longer acts. Okay, so there's a lot of capsules that like aren't filled in yet, so maybe I'll unlock those wisps later, maybe as part of the story. It is kind of funny to be here with no context, but if you think about it, that's how Sonic games always started, where unless you read the instruction manual, the Genesis games kind of just threw you right into it. Oh, little jump there. Okay. Yeah, guys, if you want to see, like, a competent playthrough of this game... Okay, there's a double jump. Cool. If you want to see somebody who's good at this game being good at this game, don't watch this Let's Play. I know the Plan Commander also has a Let's Play of this that I've watched before. I can't say I remember it super well enough to, like, know really what's coming up in the game, but it was a good Let's Play. Yeah, so those were Sonic games we always had, and I was a little kid, so like beating video games wasn't really a thing I did when I was a little kid. I know there are some people who were beating Sonic games when they were 4, but I wasn't one of those kids. Basically, all games that we owned were like impossible to beat. Like, beating video games wasn't a thing I thought you really did, unless you were really, really great. So I would pop in these Sonic games every once in a while, and then just kind of see how far I could get, but, like, I never had any hope of actually beating the game. I would usually get to, like, World 2 or something. Alright, we got a cutscene.
Where you can enjoy 5 planets to the price of 1!
He loves to hear his own lips flap, but I gotta hand it to the Eggster. This place is epic. Everyone and their brother is gonna want to come here.
No doubt, but now I'm not sure why we're here. This place looks totally harmless.
Because Eggman plus secretly built amusement park equals evil plot for us to foil. Lucky for us, he's not very good at keeping things hidden.
True, it would be pretty hard to miss a giant floating space amusement park surrounded by planets. Still, an evil plot? I don't know.
Wow! Plot or not, you can't be mad at this view. This place has taken beauty to the next level. I'm just surprised that it was so easy to sneak in here.
I wouldn't say it was that easy.
Hello, happy people! Buckle up as Eggman's ultra-accelerating space elevator whisks you to an interplanetary wonderland of fun.
Now, if I'm correct, I think this is Roger Craig Smith voicing Sonic in this game.
It's like Eggman's begging us to sneak in and trash the place.
Oh man, this thing's got crazy fast acceleration.
I don't remember if he was... Is this the first game that used what are now the modern voice actors, or were they introduced before, like in Sonic Unleashed?
In no way associated with any sort of evil plot or premeditated misdeeds.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah, so Eggman's got this crazy interstellar amusement park, as they said.
Just thinking about it makes my head feel like it wants to. Huh?
Your voice chip is stuck on Cowboy again. Stop talking and net those aliens.
Yeah, this is also the era where Orbot and Cubot were introduced. I don't think this was their first game. I think Orbot was already in a game before this, but these are kind of the, like, bumbling assistants for Eggman. They definitely are channeling a lot of, like, Scratch and Grounder from the old 90s cartoon.
What's going on? Huh? Whoa!
Okay, and I get, like, my laser ability. Okay, creating a save file. That's important. Yeah, I'll just be Sonic. I'll be Sonic. That works for me. Would it be too weird to use Tails' picture? What me do I have? You can use me character. Do I have a... You know, I don't know if I have any Mii's, like, queued up on... So I'm playing this on the Wii U so that I can easily convert it into HD, but I don't think I have any Mii's queued up on the part of the Wii U's hard drive that just acts like a Wii. Because the Wii U is weird like that. I'm gonna take Tails, because Tails has always been my favorite character. I'm thinking about this too hard. Okay, so there's a world map in this game, which is not the most Sonic-y thing, but I'm cool with it. What is this Planet Sonic here? Sonic Simulation? Whoa. I didn't know about this at all. Okay, so there's, like...
Press the assist button to perform an assist change. You'll swap places with the other virtual hedgehog.
Interesting. What's the assist button here? Okay, well... We're not gonna mess with this too much right now. That's something we can go back to later, possibly. I am expecting everybody in the comments to let me know what they think of Sonic Colors as a whole, too. So, okay, so this is the area map for the area that we've just done. We have Act 1 and Act 2 completed, but there's a bunch of other acts. What does your sign say? You're waving the sign too much. It just says welcome, okay. Alright, Act 3. So here we're gonna get, like, our first, like, specific Wisp power, I guess. Okay. I played Sonic Unleashed, but that was a while ago. Same with Sonic Generations. I really like Sonic Generations, actually.
Change forms with the cyan wisp. With super fast laser form.
Okay, it's giving me the... Oh, if I shake the controller, I can also...
Hit the crouch button while running to slide.
Okay, what
It's perfect for
what button is the crouch button? You gotta tell me these things. Slide, tap left or right plus the crouch button. I don't know what the crouch button is. Okay, it's Z. I could have guessed that, but... Yeah, it's being a little weird about actually telling me what I need to know here. So I have actually beaten all the classic Sonic games, but I didn't actually beat any of those classics, those Genesis classics, until 2020 when we were inside during the pandemic. So not only did I used to have those on Sega Genesis, they're some of the few games that I have sold that I don't own anymore. But I got the Sonic Mega Collection when I wanted to re-experience those on the GameCube. So I had those games for a while then in like the 2000s, but it wasn't until 2020 during the pandemic that I actually like decided I had a lot of time on my hands. I'm going to like really beat all of these old school games to be able to say that I did. So, you know, they're fun. I don't think 2D Sonic is really, like, my thing. It's not a thing I'm naturally good at. I like platformers a lot. But I like my platformers closer to like, Donkey Kong Country, and, you know, I probably could be better at 2D Sonic if I worked at it more, but it's just not a skill I ever really developed. But, you know, so beating Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 was pretty frustrating, because I was using the limited continues, so especially Sonic 2, which is pretty long, was tough then, but yeah, I get that. I don't know why I wanted to destroy all those blocks, I just did. Yeah, I'm collecting extra coins for no reasons here. Can I get up to that? No, it's in the foreground. Okay. There we go. So out of those, I'd say the best one is Sonic 3. People are right. I didn't play it as Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but I played Sonic 3 and then I played Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic 1 is the worst, but it's also, like, got first game syndrome out of those classic ones. I also played Sonic CD then, which I think is interesting in concept, but it's very frustrating if you're trying to play it casually, and I just, like, didn't care enough to really try and, like, optimize my runs, you know, around the, like, past, present, future system. So yeah, as we go here, I'll be giving my takes on probably just about all the Sonic games in the series, even the ones that I haven't played. So I, for one, was... So besides, like, the Sega Genesis, once we got a Super Nintendo, I was a Nintendo kid for life then. Nintendo 64, GameCube. Sonic was, like, something I was never really going to get again. Luckily, there weren't that many mainline Sonic games during that time, but I missed out on the original Dreamcast releases of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. But then when Sega stopped selling consoles and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came to the GameCube, I was, like, overjoyed. I was so exciting, because Sonic was always this thing that, like, oh man, like, I love Nintendo, Nintendo's the best, but there's some things Nintendo doesn't have. There's some exclusives I wish I could play, and, like, Sonic was, like, chief among them. Like, Sonic was, like, I didn't know a whole lot about Sega's catalog at the time, so Sonic was, like, the one series that I knew, like, oh man, if I had a Dreamcast, I could be playing Sonic right now. I like the music of this game a lot, though. It's catchy. Aw, close. Wait, we can get that one. There we go. Was that, like, that bucket thing, was that, like, acting as, like, a Lakitu? Parts of that theme kind of sound a little bit like, from Sonic Unleashed, the, like, Italy place. What's that called? Rooftop Run? Alright, so that's a really short one. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with these, like, shorter levels, though. I've heard that's an issue in Sonic Forces, that, like, the levels are so short, it's almost like, what's the point?
Now, let me see. Gotta connect the Framastatic capacitor to the maximizing modulationizer.
Wow, they're going, like, full techno-babble
I
with
wish I knew
Tails
what you
here.
were saying, little guy. Or gal. Or whatever you are.
What could you possibly be doing with that crescent wrench?
Oh man, that was crazy!
Oh, I was reconfiguring my handheld into a translator so I can understand this guy.
What bolts does your handheld have that needs a crescent wrench that big?
I absorbed those aliens and got powered up with, like, some kind of wild energy. And after a few seconds, they'd pop out of me.
I find that hard to believe.
Huh? Okay, seriously? We need to find Eggman and figure out how catching these aliens fits into whatever heinous plan he's hatching.
And wreck that plan, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how we spend our time.
Roger Craig Smith is a great voice actor, but I don't like his Sonic as much as the two beforehand. I think, what are they, Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith, if I'm getting their names right. I just kind of prefer my character of Sonic the way they're doing. It's not that Roger Craig Smith is doing a worse job, but like... So there was kind of like a Sonic crash right after, So how do I actually, like, do I just have to hold this until the timer runs out? Like, I'm ready to go. I'm pressing all the buttons. Oh, I have to stop holding the control stick. Okay. Okay, we'll learn, guys. Is there a wall jump? Can I wall jump in this game? No, that's probably for laser. Okay, well that wasn't a very good use of... Oh, and I can't turn, like, 360 degrees. Like, I can't look behind me. Okay. Okay, I understand using this a bit better now. So after Sonic 06, because Sonic 06 was a disaster, I will say that, like, the nicest thing I can say about Sonic 06 is that I think it was kind of ambitious, and they just did not have time to do the things they wanted to do with it. Sega was not giving them time to really develop it. There are, like, ideas that about Sonic 06 that I think could have worked. Whoops. That I think could have worked if they had time to properly develop it. And then there's choices in Sonic 06 where I'm like, how did you possibly come up with this being a good idea? Particularly some of the, like, story beats. But, you know, so Sonic 06 was the game that really ruined Sonic's reputation. And after that, it's kind of been, like, a laughing stock. It's sort of been, like, every time a Sonic game comes out, it's met with so much scrutiny. And, I mean, for good reason. They really did... They really did mess it all up with Sonic 06. They, like, destroyed their own... Oh, can I not... Man, I can't... Oh! That almost worked, though. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna keep going. Yeah, let's just go with that. Oh, cool! So I think starting with Sonic Unleashed, and you can especially see it here in Sonic Colors, if the lesson they took from Sonic 06, I think one of the lessons they took was that, like, Sonic games shouldn't take themselves too seriously. which I think was the wrong lesson. Another lesson they took from that was that, like, people don't want to see all of Sonic's friends anymore. They just want to see Sonic, which is why this game is really just Sonic and Tails. But it's something about the attitude of this game that, like, I'm sure this game will have its moments, but, like, the story is not going to take itself seriously, and it's okay for that not every game is like a big sweeping story with multiple perspectives, the way Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are. Like, that's fine. But to get back to, like, Roger Craig Smith, like, again, not that his performance is bad, but that, like, just the general attitude with Sonic Colors and then a lot of Sonic games going forward are just kind of like, oh man, I don't know, this is a self-referential humor. Oh, Eggman's made a... You know how people sometimes complain about, like, Marvel humor, of that it's just, like, pointing out how ridiculous it is, and that gets, like, kind of tiresome if you're trying to take the world seriously. I don't even think that's such a problem with Marvel movies, but I think this era of Sonic games is a great example of that, where, you know, these are cartoon characters, but even though they were maybe cringe for some people, I personally do really like the taking itself seriously to a fault, go down with the ship spirit of, like, Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2, I wouldn't call, you know, one of the best games of all time, but I would say it's one of my favorite games of all time. Okay, we got a boss here.
23, 24, 25...
In some ways, this is kind of like a return to form to the original Sonic, though, because, like, the Wisp started to stand in for, like, the baby animals.
I want you to get me a cheeseburger and a shake. That'll be easier. Cheeseburgers don't run as fast as them little alien varmints. Idiot, get me more aliens.
Like, this really is, like... He's got his two bumbling assistants. They're like, the bad guys are like a comedy routine now. So I can see how that's off-putting for people who prefer the adventure era, where Eggman, though he could be funny sometimes, was also, like, a more serious threat.
Their hyper go on power, and then nothing will stop me. I know I say that every time, but this time, really, nothing will stop me.
Like, it's self-referential, guys.
What? Sonic!
This is the, like, Beardy with nose hair scene, right?
Nothing.
Who you calling nothing, because...
He means since the boss said nothing will stop me, and Sonic here is going to stop him, it's
Yes,
not the
please
boss
explain the
who's calling
joke, thank
Sonic
you.
nothing.
Great. I thought nobody would get that.
It's funny when you explain the joke. Like, I just don't jive with this game's sense of humor as much.
Release the big boy. At least I know he won't screw it up.
I know some people love it, though.
Hasta la bye-bye, suckers!
Like, sense of humor is such a... This thing's pretty cool. It's like a killer Ferris wheel. Sense of humor is such a subjective thing, though.
Start stopping.
I get it.
I think when it comes to Sonic storytelling, some of the best you can get is, like, stuff by Ian Flynn, both in the Archie comics and then in the more recent IDW comics. And, like, those have their problems too, but I do think if you're looking for a story, and, you know, you could argue that a platformer isn't the best place to get a story, but I don't know, I wish I could, like, erase my memory of Sonic Adventure 2 and play it again and see if I would still like it as much as I did as a kid, or if it was just that I was young and impressionable. Because even as a kid, you know, I was definitely cynical enough to think some things in Sonic Adventure 2 were really cheesy.
Here in the middle. Use the platforms to get...
Yeah, I figured out that part. I think I already destroyed it. Navigator. Yeah, wow, that was really fast, actually. Cool.
Just tighten this last bolt. Oh, there you are. Where'd you run off to?
I did a little shopping, grabbed a bite to eat, and trashed a giant killer robot.
Oh, really? And they've got shopping here, too?
This place has everything. Hey, so how's your translator?
They're doing something with, like, Sonic and Tails rapport that's kind of cute. Of that, like, you can get that they're, like, constant adventurers, so they kind of have their... You know, Sonic says that he destroys a giant robot and goes shopping, and Tails is surprised by the shopping. Like,
happening to your people?
I do like this kind of angle that, like, Tails is older now and is, like, keeping up with Sonic with the quips.
Talks a lot. And he's from a faraway soda, and where flowers water them with dances.
Yeah, I think your machine still has some bugs.
Yeah, I think I can figure this out, though. Okay, he said his name is Yacker. He's from a race of beings called Wisps.
Lisps?
No, Wisps, with a W.
Yeah, I'll just stick with aliens if that's okay with everybody.
Oh, sure. So anyway...
Why wouldn't you call them what they're called, Sonic? Wisps isn't a hard name to remember.
Evil man.
You're racist?
To make underwear to be worn by Salad. You can just hear save them over and over.
When I was running around trashing robots, I saw a map that had a couple of interesting places. I think I'll go check them out, and maybe save some aliens.
I mean, really, Sonic, you're the alien here because you're closer to their planet.
Wrangle every piece of this mess. When you consider what we're doing from the robot's point of view, it's actually pretty gruesome.
Don't think about it.
If you say so.
Like, Orbot and Cubot, I like in the IDW comics. They actually managed to have some good moments.
How much can it matter?
I guess it can't matter much.
So what do we have there? Is that like a fuel leak? Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't understand what the significance of that is supposed to be. Okay, so we unlocked 2 new worlds, but that's going to be enough for this episode. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm the Comic Foil, and we'll have some more Sonic Colors coming forward. I'll talk a little bit more about my history with Sonic, because Sonic has a lot of history. Until then, yeah, if you want to like and subscribe, I don't want to do the whole thing. I'll see you guys later.
Next up, the tropical resort. There you'll find breathtaking